Hello and welcome to our English learning videos. Today, we have a fascinating and very useful story for your learning and for your life as well. We are going to learn about Warren Buffett, a man known all over the world as one of the richest and wisest people alive. In the next few minutes, you will discover the incredible true story of how a young boy delivering newspapers in a small American city grew up to become the world's most successful investor. We will learn the simple, powerful secrets he used to build his amazing wealth. And here's the most important part: his secrets are not complicated. They are ideas that you and I can understand and even use in our own lives. Now, listening to this longer story is excellent practice for your English. It will help your brain get comfortable with hearing English for a longer time, which is a very important skill. We will also learn some very useful new words about money, business, and thinking. I will explain these words right inside the story, so it will be very easy for you. And here is a small task for you today. Let's test your listening attention skills. As you listen to the story, I want you to write down the third and fifth vocabulary words that I have tried to teach here. This way, we can see how attentively you listen, as it is a very important skill in English learning. Are you ready? Let's go. Our story begins in the city of Omaha, Nebraska, in the middle of the United States. A boy named Warren Buffett was born there in 1930. The time was difficult for many people. It was the Great Depression, a period when many families were poor and had little money. From a very young age, Warren was interested in two things: numbers and making money. So, how did a boy who loved numbers become the Oracle of Omaha? Oracle means a very wise person who can see the future or give great advice. Let's find out. He was not interested in buying fancy toys or expensive clothes. He was interested in making his money grow. When he was just 6 years old, he bought a six-pack of Coca-Cola bottles from his grandfather's store for 25 cents. He then sold each individual bottle for 5 cents each. When he sold all six, he had 30 cents. He had made a 5-cent profit. This was his first business, and he was only 6. When he was a little older, he took a job delivering newspapers. Every morning, he would wake up very early before the sun came up and deliver newspapers to over 500 houses. He was reliable and worked hard, but he did more than just deliver the news. He was always thinking about business. He saved the money he earned. He was very frugal. The word frugal means that you are careful with your money. You don't waste it on things you don't need. Warren was very frugal, and by the time he was a teenager, he had already saved several $1,000s. That was a lot of money in those days. He was always looking for new ways to make money. He and a friend bought an old pinball machine for $25. A pinball machine is a game you put coins into play. They didn't put the machine in their house. They put it in a local barber shop, a place where men get their hair cut. They told the owner of the shop, "We can share the money the machine makes." Soon the machine was making them a few dollars every week. It was a success, so they bought more machines and put them in other barber shops. Warren learned an important lesson. You can make money even when you are sleeping if you own something that works for you. This is called an asset. An asset is something valuable that you own that can make you money, like a business or a house. Warren loved creating assets. Warren loved to read. He read every book about business and money he could find in the public library. He read about numbers, about companies, and about how money works. But there was one special book he found when he was at university that changed his life forever. This book was written by a professor at Columbia University named Benjamin Graham. The book was called The Intelligent Investor. Reading this book was like a light turning on in Warren's mind. What was in this book that was so special? Benjamin Graham taught two very simple but very powerful ideas. The first idea was to think of the stock market as a person named Mr. Market. The stock market is where people buy and sell small pieces of companies called stocks. Benjamin Graham said that Mr. Market is a very emotional business partner. Some days he is very happy and excited and he wants to sell you his stocks for a very high price. On other days, he is very sad and scared, and he wants to sell you his stocks for a very low, cheap price. Graham taught that a smart investor should ignore Mr. Market's feelings. You should not buy when he is excited and prices are high. You should be happy when he is scared and prices are low. That is the time to buy good companies for a cheap price. The second idea was called the margin of safety. This sounds complicated, but it is a very simple principle. A principle is a basic rule or belief that helps you make decisions. The principle of margin of safety means you should always try to buy something for much less than what it is really worth. For example, if you think a company is really worth $10 per share, you should try to buy it when the price is only $5 or $6. That difference, that $4 or $5, is your margin of safety. It protects you if you make a mistake or if something bad happens. Warren loved these ideas so much that he decided he had to study with Benjamin Graham. He went to Columbia University in New York City just to be Graham's student. After he finished his studies, he even went to work for Graham's company. He learned everything he could from his teacher. After working for his hero, Warren Buffett moved back home to Omaha. He was now ready to start his own business. In 1956, he started an investment partnership. He asked his family and friends to invest money with him. He told them, "I will not promise we will get rich quick, but I will promise to be careful with your money." His business grew and grew. He used the ideas from Benjamin Graham to buy parts of good companies when they were cheap. But soon, he would add his own special ideas to his teacher's philosophy. A philosophy is a particular set of ideas about how to live or how to do something. Warren's philosophy was about to get even better. One day, he bought a company called Berkshire Hathaway. At that time, Berkshire Hathaway was a company that made textiles. The cloth used to make clothes, but the company was failing. It was losing money every year. So why would the world's smartest investor buy a company that was losing money? Warren first thought he could fix the textile business, but he soon realized it was a very difficult industry. So he started to do something different. He used the money that the textile business made to buy other, better businesses. He started to buy whole companies or large parts of them. Slowly, over many years, he transformed Berkshire Hathaway from a failing textile company into a huge holding company. A holding company is a company that owns many other different companies. Today, Berkshire Hathaway owns insurance companies, a railroad company, electricity companies, famous food brands, and parts of many other successful businesses. So, what are the simple, secret rules that Warren Buffett used to choose these great companies? He has explained his philosophy many times, and it is surprisingly simple. Let's look at a few of his most important rules. His first rule is invest in what you understand. Warren calls this his circle of competence. He says everyone has some areas they know a lot about. Maybe you know a lot about video games or fashion or cars. Warren's rule is to only invest in businesses inside your circle, businesses you can easily understand. He often did not invest in technology companies for a long time because he said he did not understand them well. But what did he understand? He understood candy. He bought a company called C's Candies. Why? Because it was a simple, wonderful business. People loved the candy. They bought it for Christmas, for birthdays, for Valentine's Day. The company had a strong brand and loyal customers. It was easy to understand. He also famously bought a huge amount of stock in the Coca-Cola company. Why? He saw that people all over the world in every country loved drinking Coke. It was a simple product with a powerful global brand. He understood its business perfectly. His second rule is be patient and think for the long term. Warren Buffett does not like to buy a stock and sell it a few weeks later. That is not investing, that is gambling. He says our favorite holding period is forever. When he buys a company, he wants to own it for many, many years, even decades. He says investing is like planting a tree. You don't expect to get shade the next day. You plant the seed, you water it, and you let it grow slowly over many years into a big, strong tree. Patience, which is the ability to wait for a long time without getting upset, is maybe the most important quality for a successful investor. His third rule is look for wonderful companies at a fair price. His teacher, Ben Graham, liked to buy fair companies at a wonderful, cheap price. Warren changed this idea a little. He learned it is better to buy a truly great company for a fair price than to buy a bad company just because it is very cheap. What makes a company wonderful? A strong brand people love, like Coca-Cola, a product that is hard for others to copy, and good, honest managers who run the company well. His fourth and maybe most important rule for all of us is read, read, and read. Warren Buffett is famous for his reading habit. Even today in his 90s, he says he spends about 80% of his day reading. He reads books, newspapers, company reports, everything. He says knowledge builds up like compound interest. He believes that the more you learn, the better your decisions will be. You might think that a man with so much money, billions and billions of dollars, lives in a huge palace and drives a different expensive car every day. But the truth about Warren Buffett might surprise you. He still lives in the same simple house in Omaha that he bought in 1958 for about $31,000. He drives a normal car. He is famous for eating a simple breakfast from McDonald's every morning. Why does he live so simply? Because he is frugal. He doesn't need expensive things to be happy. He loves his family, his friends, and his work. That is what is important to him. He also believes in the power of friendship. For many decades, his business partner was a man named Charlie Munger. Charlie was also very wise, and Warren always said that Charlie made him a better investor and a better person. He also has a famous friendship with Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. They learn from each other. But here is perhaps the most incredible part of Warren Buffett's story. What does he plan to do with all his money? He is not planning to give it all to his children. He has said he will give them enough so they can do anything, but not so much that they can do nothing. Instead, he has decided to give almost all of it away to help other people. In 2006, he made the biggest charitable promise in history. He promised to give away more than 99% of his wealth to make the world a better place. He started a campaign with his friends Bill and Melinda Gates called the Giving Pledge. They ask other billionaires around the world to promise to give away at least half of their wealth to charity. This is his legacy. A legacy is what a person leaves behind for future generations. It's how they will be remembered. Warren Buffett wants his legacy to be not just about making money, but about using that money to help solve the world's biggest problems like disease and poverty. So, from a young boy selling Coke bottles to the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett's life is a story of patience, discipline, and constant learning. He showed us that you don't need to be a complex genius to be successful. You just need to follow a few simple, wise rules and follow them for a very long time. He built his success by understanding simple businesses, by being patient when others were scared, by living a simple life, and by reading and learning every single day. Now think about the task from the beginning of our video. What was the one rule of Warren that you liked the most? Was it invest in what you understand? Was it be patient? Or was it the importance of reading every day? Let us know which rule you chose in the comments below. We would love to read your answers. We hope you enjoyed this story and found it helpful for your English learning journey. If you did, please show your support by giving this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to Easy English Tailies and click the bell so you won't miss our next story. Thank you for spending your time with us. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we will see you next time.